Hello and welcome to Apprentify's second episode of Podify. I'm Grace and I will be the host of today's podcast, and I have here with me today Ben and Megan. Would you guys mind introducing yourself? Go with Megan first.
Hi, I'm Meg and I'm from Manchester Airport.
Hi, I'm Ben and I'm from Dual Auto Care.
Cool, that's brilliant. So you guys both currently doing apprenticeships with Apprentify then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So what made you want to do an apprenticeship when you first started?
Personally, I got my A-levels back in 2020, the dreaded year, so I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, and just by chance I came across this apprenticeship and I thought, worst things first, I'm not going to like it, but I can try.
Oh, cool. And where did you hear about us then when you were looking?
So I actually went on to Indeed jobs and just literally typed in digital marketing apprenticeship and then applied for one in my local area.
Okay.
And just by chance came through the Juice Academy, and then there was Apprentify. So I actually didn't even know I was doing it. It was just all through Indeed.
It's kind of similar, so you kind of see it on Indeed. And that, well, I was like, oh, I could do that. I've got half of those skills already. But it wasn't because of digital marketing. It's because of the kind of creation side of content more than anything. But it was basically a chance to retrain.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, so do you have a background in content then?
I've got a fairly long history in creating various, creative outputs. So I had Photoshop, Premiere and After Effects already. It's just trying to apply that to a different area.
Yeah.
And that's what drove that decision.
Oh, wicked. And what made you want to do an apprenticeship, Ben?
Getting the experience. I know I told you before that I've been to uni, but during uni there's no experience unless you get a great degree when you have like a year of work. But this, you get experience with it while learning, and that's the killer when I was trying to find work, because they all want experience and you don't have any.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So is that what then made you go for an apprenticeship route after finishing uni?
I mean, it was a few years after. I was trying for years.
Yeah.
To get into the industry I was trying to get into, and I was just like, oh yeah, I just need experience.
Yeah.
Time to go somewhere else.
Makes sense. Is there additional benefits from doing an apprenticeship that you didn't find when you went to university then?
It feels fairly similar.
Yeah.
The level's very different. It's like some of the stuff you turn into Bud is. She goes, oh, this is amazing. You've done like research. It's like, that's because that's what I'm used to doing.
Yeah.
You write a bit of text or whatever, and you end up going to great lengths and finding research and quotes, and she's like, yeah, that's amazing. It's like, yeah, I didn't need to be this good. And she's like, not really. No, she doesn't like that, but yeah, you end up going overboard and stuff and taking longer to do, simple bits.
Oh, brill. And I'm going to ask you both this question now then. So what were your highlights then when doing an apprenticeship?
Personally, I knew I worked better within an environment where you're actually on the job, you're working, you're doing it. It's not just an exam and a load of words. So I'd say just going in every day and learning is one of the biggest highlights I have, because I can learn unintentionally, I'm subconsciously learning all of the time, and that just is my personal way of learning.
Yeah. No, that's
learn by doing.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that the exact same for you then, Ben, or have you got
learn by
anything
doing
else?
is definitely the best way of learning.
Yeah, it's super enjoyable as well. It's not a chore. It's I don't think, oh, I've got to do this, or it's just fun. You just go with the motion.
Yeah. So what does a day typically look for you guys then as an apprentice? Obviously, I can imagine it's quite different for you both because you're in two completely different organisations. What about you, Megan?
So I'll go in and I'll go straight onto Sprout Social, which is where we get all of our messages come through. Clear those typically in the morning, and then I'll check my emails, do any meetings that I've got scheduled for the day, and then create content, schedule content, work through the calendar and things. So
yeah. Sorry, I did actually forget to say what apprenticeship is that you're both doing with Apprentify, just to make it a little bit clearer for the listeners.
So we're both doing junior content producer.
Oh, brilliant.
Level 3.
Yeah. So quite similar then, but just different industries. So it'd be quite interesting to see how your day is different to that, Ben. What does your typical day look like?
It can vary from spending all day creating graphics that go out in emails or on social advertising deals or things like that, or billboards. That's really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing billboard ones. You go, nobody's going to see it driving past, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But other days you can, because there's only 3 of us, you can spend like a day in, because it's the office is next off a warehouse. You can spend a day, up and about sorting out all the things that need sorting in there, which I like the time off from doing computer stuff. And
Yeah.
So that variation is quite nice.
Yeah, it does sound like, especially with both of you, you've got a completely different, varied role. So how does like fitting the learning, fit into that? Because obviously it's 20% off the job learning. So do you do that like in the employer, or do you do that at home? How does that look for you guys?
I wish I got it at home.
For me, my managers are super flexible. They'll let me work in working hours, or I'll have like my 20% off the job at home. We also obviously have every other Tuesday in the academy, which is also classed as 20%, but you can never quite do like bud work then. So it's just whenever, wherever you can do it.
Yeah. How about you, Ben?
Well, it used to be, because we have like what's that? It's like we used to every other Tuesday is in the juice session. Is a juice session, sorry. But then my boss was like, oh, every other Tuesday other than that, you spend the day doing bud stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of how that's worked.
Yeah.
From day one. Has got a little blurred over like sales periods. So you have to go try and do an hour when you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have you found the balance then? Have you found it easy to manage?
To start with, it was fine. It's gotten a bit, every now and then it's like, because we have tasks from Juice, and then Heather sends us an email going, hey, where's that? And I go, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it quite manageable, really. Sometimes you'll have like 5-hour e-learning tasks to do, and they never quite take me 5 hours.
Google fundamentals, 40 hours.
Oh, bane of my existence. But
I'm still working through mine.
On a whole, it's manageable, and because you want to know and learn about it and do them, basically, it's not too much of a chore.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like anything, they can be quite tedious, but on the whole,
yeah,
it's manageable.
Oh no, that sounds wicked. And this would be quite interesting, because I know a lot of learners will probably want to know this. If for someone that is looking for an apprenticeship and is unsure on what to do and the steps, what would you recommend them doing to find an apprenticeship?
Well, like we said before, we literally just went on Indeed and put in what we wanted to do and what we wanted to find.
Yeah.
I think I literally searched digital marketing apprenticeships, and then obviously on Indeed you put your location, so then it comes up on the surrounding areas. And the world has a funny way of working things out. Sometimes you can just find it and go from there.
And here you are.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know where you advertise everything, but I'm sure I started seeing adverts for content creator, and that's where it might have been on Reed or something like that. And I was like, this might work, and then you put the feelers out, and then you finally find one where somebody wants you.
Yeah. Cool. And I know it's probably different for both of you then. Like, how long is it you guys have got left? It'd be good to know, and what your plans are post apprenticeship.
May we both finish? April, May.
Know.
We started in April, on the 25th of April, and we'll finish.
I started on the 9th.
Oh.
Different. Slightly different.
Yeah. I was on holiday.
Yeah, so May.
So May, yeah. And what are your plans then? Have you got any plans? Do you think you'll stay, or do you think you may look for something else?
Funnily enough, my bosses, because I have 2 bosses, they don't answer to anyone, but they asked me that the other day. I was like, well, I wouldn't mind staying here for a bit, but I think in the long run, I quite like to target being a motion designer.
Oh, wicked.
Just because I've got a slight background in animation anyway.
Yeah.
But so it's just an extension of that.
Oh,
that's
that'd
what
be cool.
I'd really like to target. So
that's amazing. What about you, Megan?
Yeah, I'm kind of doing everything I can in my power to be like, I want that job at the end of my apprenticeship. So there's just so many different avenues that I can go down. So yeah, I'm hoping that they'll say, do you want to stay on?
I'll have my fingers crossed for you.
Thanks.
No, that's brilliant. And you know what, guys? This has been amazing for our first podcast, and I'm really grateful that you could both come with us here today. Is there anything else you would like to add, or?
I don't know.
That
Is Lee
Apprentify
watching? Is my boss
really
watching?
quite good.
What were you saying, Megan?
That Apprentify is really quite amazing for getting like your way into the apprenticeship world, because it can be super overwhelming, can't it? That's the thing, people don't really know what there is out there for them, so
Yeah.
like we said, just by putting it into Indeed of what you think you fancy,
Yeah.
and then lead.
No, that's
I
amazing.
guess that's how we both came here. We weren't sure.
Exactly.
Well, from what you said earlier, it sounds like you weren't sure about the actual apprenticeship to start with. I was exactly the same. I was like, will this lead where it is? But again, there's that flexibility to kind of edge into the paths you want to go into, which is quite nice.
Yeah. I
and
agree.
And GS Academy, I think, is really good.
Oh,
It's,
amazing.
it's nice having industry experts come down, spend an hour with us.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's really useful having industry experts who are actually working that job, not working that job 5 years ago, and then they've, turned into a teacher. They've actually just come downstairs for an hour.
And they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Great. Well, thank you so much for all your time today, guys, and thank you for listening. If you are listening on Spotify, please make sure that you follow us, and if you listen on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for our next podcast. Thank you.